going to be doing page breaks. We're going to page break based on elements within our report, such as grouping within a table and also another table or just other aspects of our report. Let's begin by adding a new item, report, and we're just going to call this page break report. And let's add it. Okay, let's add our data source first. We're going to be using AdventureWorks 2012. Let's grab into our SQL Server period for our local instance, and we're grabbing AdventureWorks 2012. Like I said, test the connection. Good. Everything's good. We've created our data source. Let's make sure we're Windows authenticated and not SQL Server authentication, and we're good. Let's grab our first data set, and it's just going to be the dbo.company regions table. All right, let's add data set. It's going to be embedded. We're using AdventureWorks 2012 data source. Let's paste. Okay. All right, let's go ahead and begin with our table. Let's set up our canvas first. Right click, insert, table. We're going to grab country, company regions, region ID. And let's just preview the table, see how it looks. Okay, as you can see, we have our region ID, our company regions, and country. Let's go back to design. Now we want to add our parent group, and our parent group is going to be country. Add group, parent group, and let's select country. Okay, and let's check out our grouping. Okay, we no longer need this column, the country. You keep it if you want to, but it's just redundant data. So let's go ahead and get rid of it. Delete column. Okay, now let's pull up our categories here. Now let's go ahead and click on country, our parent group, click down on it, and then go to group properties where it says page breaks. Go here and check the box between each instance of a group. What this is going to do is for each grouping, it's going to cause a page break. But it's not going to retain our header. And I'm going to show you how to retain the header. It's going to show you the header in the first grouping for Canada, but you're not going to see it on the rest. See? China, South Korea, USA. Now let me show you how to retain the column header for each grouping page break. We want to go to our column groups right here. Click down, advanced mode. Now we want to hit right here, static. That is our header column, our table column header. And we want to go to properties. After we've clicked it, we want to go to properties and scroll down. Where it says repeat on new page, you want to set that to true. Now let's go to preview. And we've retained our header. Okay. Now let's go to design. Let's actually try to make it look like a report. I know this is just a practice, but let's go ahead and give some color to this. Background color. Let's color the background black, and the foreground, we're gonna color it yellow. Yellow. That's kind of neat. Let's insert a text box so we could title our report. Uh, I want it right here. Okay. Let's let's set up our font to 14. Let's begin. We're gonna call it page break report. We want to embolden it. Okay, that's kind of nice. Our for let's hmm. Our foreground, we want it to be. Let's try red. Okay, let's do it again. Okay, our foreground, let's try red. Our background, let's try aqua. Okay. All right, let's add another element to this report. Let's add a matrix. Let's add another data set. And this time it's going to be from the sales.salesperson table. And we're grabbing the top 10 territory ID, business entity ID, and bonus, where the territory ID is not null and sales quota column is not null. And we're going to order by business entity ID. So we're going to retrieve the top 10 based on business entity ID ascending. So let's copy this right here. It's, it's going to be our second data set. And it's always good practice to name your data set. So I know I didn't do it the first time. So we're just going to call this sales person. It's going to be embedded. And we're going to still use AdventureX 2012. Let's paste our query command, however you want to categorize it. Our on rows is going to be territory ID. Our column, it's going to be business entity ID. And bonus is going to be our data. And let's give it some color. The background, let's do dark blue. And the foreground, let's do white. Not bad. Not bad. Definitely not bad. And let's preview it. Okay. Okay. Everything looks pretty decent. Everything looks pretty decent. Let's go into our design. Let's expand this out a little bit. And let's expand this as well. There we go. Let's slight bit. It's kind of hard for me to. There we go. It's not bad. It's looking pretty decent. Now we want a page break for our matrix as well. So let's go ahead and right click and tablix properties, and we want to add a page break before and keep the page together. Keep together on one page if possible. Okay. All right. Let's preview it again. We're looking at our groupings right now. Grouping page breaks. This is our Matrix. We've successfully configured our page break, and it's very, very long. We might want to shorten the length of our matrix. All right. All right. Yeah, this is kind of annoying. All right, there we go. All right, it should be a lot neater than what we had. So let's shorten the length just a little bit more. This can get kind of aggravating. There we go. There we go. All right. Now let's add just a rectangle and a text box saying something. So let's add a rectangle, and inside let's add a text box. Let me bring it up some. There you go. Insert text box. All right, let's. What do we want to write in our text box? This is the end of the report, or just end of report. Let's do 14. End of report. Wow, that, that looks so terrible. Okay, end of report. End of report. Let's play with the foreground. Color it green. Uh, Got to make sure you click onto it. All right. Background. Let's do red. Let's just keep it red and black. That looks pretty nice. Yeah, you got to make sure you click onto it before you edit the foreground and background. Okay. Now let's go ahead and what's going to happen is this right here is going to be attached to our matrix because we didn't establish a page break for it. So let's preview it. Okay. Everything looks great so far, except for this. And we need to enlarge in this, and we still need to shorten up our matrix. Well, we don't need to shorten up the matrix. It's just I use column with so many values, so it's not really we could do as far as the matrix. We could leave it as is. End of report. We want to enlarge in this, and we also want to break it from this. So let's go back. Let's enlarge in this. Expand it, rather. Well, we're going to enlarge in it too, so boom, boom. All right. Yeah, you really got to have a knack for this. This, like, it can get a little frustrating moving boxes around and whatnot. Okay, let's boom. Boom, 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 boom. All right. I'm satisfied with it. All right, let's go to rectangle properties. You want to click on the rectangle, right click it, go to rectangle properties, and we want to add a page break before. And it's already selected. Keep contents together on a single page if possible. So that's good. Now let's go to preview. And everything looks good, looks good, looks good. And this time it stayed good. End of report. And that's how you use page breaks. And like I said, the main thing is to know how to use your tools. I know this is a sloppy report, and it don't look it doesn't look good at all. I could admit that, but the main thing is knowing how to use your tools, and that's how you use one tool, which is the page break. Thank you for attending this course.